latest updates on this oil spill. I guess you've heard by now that you know, it's all basically a gigantic cover-up. What they're trying to do is to keep the American public from seeing just how bad this situation actually is. So, of course, independent scientists are not allowed to put films out there to show you the underwater plumes that are spewing out gallon after gallon after gallon, second after second after second, and who knows how long this is going to go on, possibly for months, maybe even years, because nobody seems to have a clue. So the latest developments I was reading today was that actually the Coast Guard has now become the spokes agency for BP itself. In other words, we have a basically, it's, you know, they're under the auspices of the Department of Defense, of course, since they're it's a military service, basically, the Coast Guard is. And they lied from the very beginning. You know, at the very beginning, when this oil rig collapsed onto the ocean floor after the explosion, they came right out and said, no, there is no leak. There is no leak. And of course, over time, they had to correct their assessment. But now they are actually preventing news crews from CBS News from filming on the beaches. Now, there are several incidents reported of this happening, and the Coast Guard explained it by saying, you know, this is under the auspices of BP, and you're not allowed to film here. So this is where it stands. They really don't want us to see the extent of the damage. Not even on the beaches, you know. That probably isn't going to last much longer, because in the day of the internet, things are, rest assured, things are going to come to light. But they're going to keep it as low-key as they possibly can. And then, as Joe mentioned in his video, you know, the whistleblower who has inside knowledge of BP and this Atlantis platform, he's just been given the pink slip. And as I mentioned in one of my comments to Joe, yeah, he'll probably be the only one who goes to jail over this, because this is what it's come to, basically. People who speak out against wrong and try to correct it, the whistleblowers, in other words, they're the ones who are going to be jailed. You know, just like the whistleblower in this banking scandal over in Switzerland, a UBS bank, that is, where basically they had all these, well, they have secret bank accounts essentially, and their financial information can't be disclosed, and this involved, you know, almost 100,000 wealthy, very wealthy Americans who are essentially avoiding paying their taxes and have their little offshore tax havens. But the whistleblower who exposed all of this, he's sitting in a federal penitentiary right now. So, you know, Joe, you mentioned something about these tar balls washing up on the beaches. Now, I'm kind of skeptical about this, because that might actually be true. I don't know that these tar balls are not from this particular spill, because tar takes a long time to form. So there might be actually some truth to that particular story. But you know, there's so much spin flying around, and nobody is ever really going to know the extent of this damage until years and years later, when basically the Gulf is essentially a dead sea, so to speak. I also wanted to point everyone to Jacques-Luc Four's video that she did. I think she made it last night or night before. It was actually a mirrored video by also an insider in the oil industry. This is a woman who is training crews, what she calls boom crews, you know, the people who are laying the booms, which is a very strong video. So I'll try to post a link to that so that you can watch it, because she most definitely knows what she's talking about, and she says it with gusto, better than I ever could. And so that's my update for tonight on that situation. I've been kind of quiet for a while. You know, it's every time I follow the news or read anything on the internet these days, it's so damn depressing. You know, I don't even know what to say anymore sometimes. So please excuse my silence when I get into these moods. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you later.